I'm going to go ahead and warn you right away. If this is the very first show you've ever listened to on Spreaker, I want you to go ahead and turn it off right now. Because if you listen to this, and then you go listen to another show, that other show, it's going to suck. And I'll tell you why. Because I'm Kris Time, bitch.
The Kris Time Program, the alternative to the garbage on Spreaker.
Hi, I'm Kris Time. First off, I want to thank you for tuning into the Kris Time Program. While I try my best to keep the show as rated PG-13 as possible, sometimes things slip out, or sometimes things happen, and that's just the way live radio goes. And because this is the internet, the FCC isn't around to tell me what I can and can't do. So because of the occasional slip-up or the guest that might get out of hand, you really need to be 18 or older to listen. If you happen to be under 18, please make sure you get your parents' permission. Portions of the day's programming are reproduced by means of electrical transcriptions or tape recordings.
You can either talk in the Kris Time Program.
I am the one and only Kris Time.
You can either talk in the Kris Time Program.
Broadcasting live from my lavish studio apartment.
The VCR and the DVD, there wasn't that a backpack back in 1970. We didn't know about the World War Web was a whole different game being played back when I was a kid. Wanna get down in a cool way, picture yourself on a beautiful day. Big bell bottoms and groovy long hair, just walking in style with a party full MP3 play. You can listen to the music on the Kris Time Program. Kris Time Program. You can hear the music on the Kris Time Program. Kris Time Program.
One and only Kris Time.
Wanna hear the music on the Kris Time Program. You can get the talk in the Kris Time Program.
Sunny Clarksville, Tennessee.
You can hear the talk in the Kris Time Program.
This is the Kris Time Program.
And I am the one and only Kris Time, broadcasting live from my lavish studio apartment here in sunny Clarksville, Tennessee. And of course, with an ocean view. Got a lot in store for you today in a short period of time because, well, there's another show that I want to check out, and it's going to start here in a few minutes. And I want to make sure I get to that because it's going to be a 3-hour well, my show's going to be an hour. But it's going to be a 3-hour show, and I want to check out as much of it as possible. And I was going to listen to the whole thing, but I got the time zone thing. It got all mixed up. So I'm going to get this one rolling. I've got a Lyrical Playhouse coming up, and today's theme, we're going to talk about annoying things. And I know all of us in life have these things that just drive us insane. And I'll give you an example, and we're going to talk about this stuff throughout the show. And I'm going to talk about annoying Facebook stuff, just annoying day-to-day stuff, maybe things that guys do that are a little annoying. And I'm an expert on that. I really am. How about this? Say you're getting on a bus or you're getting on a train. And as you're getting on, or as you're getting off of the train or the bus, people start getting on. Doesn't that just drive you insane? It's like, if you would just wait a second, we could all get off. You could get on. It would go a whole lot quicker. You ever thought about that? Plus, it's a common courtesy thing. It drives me nuts. Is it just me? But see, it's going to be things like that we're going to talk about. And I don't want to give it all away yet. And I probably won't even get to it all. There's so much. There's so many annoying things in the world. Now, how is this? This guy, he's got to get Fireman of the Year. And again, I'm saying this sarcastically. I mean, it's ingenuity. I'll give him that. But as far as human decency, he gets a big fat F. Joseph Keene is his name. He's a New York fireman. And listen to what he did. This is going to hack you off. This falls under annoying things. Making 911 calls about non-existent fires. And this goes much further than being a prank. Because, okay, just listen. when he made these calls, then he would rob the firehouse while the crews left to respond. Yeah. He's a lowlife. Now, Keen is charged with making 3 calls in May and June and making off with about $1,900 from his fellow firemen's wallets in Queens and in Staten Island. Oh. He's got some cojones, though, doesn't he? I mean, if he's going to steal from some... He picked Queens and Staten Island. You know they're going to be after his butt. They're going to set his house on fire. Now, the crime is doubly disgusting because you got to think about it. While they're off trying to fight this fake fire, there could be a real fire happening somewhere else. Yeah. So there you go. Joseph Keen, you get the Firefighter of the Year award. How's this for annoying? Maybe you're in a hurry, maybe you're not. Maybe you're just walking at your normal pace. You're on a busy sidewalk, and there's a couple of guys, young guys even. It's not like they're grannies, but a couple of young guys, and they're just strolling along, taking their time. And you can't get around them because there's just things going on, or there's something in the way. You just can't get around them, and that's all you want to do is just move past these 2 guys. I'm going to go ahead and say it. We shouldn't get mad, but we do. I mean, it could be 2 grannies with walkers, and we would feel the same way. I know. But I use 2 young guys just because they could move faster. Now, are you a history buff? I mean, even if you're not, I'm sure you've heard of the movie Schindler's List. Well, you can pick up an original copy of the list just for a few dollars. Because it's on eBay. I believe it's on eBay right now. Now, Schindler's List, it's an Oscar-winning Spielberg film. Now, the guy that actually wrote the list, his name's Oskar Schindler. It's his real-life list. It named 801 male workers that went on to survive Nazi death camps. Now, that original list is now up for sale on eBay for $3 million. Now, there aren't any offers yet, so you've got a shot at getting this really cheap. Now, the 14-page list, dated April 18th, 1945, is one of 4 known surviving lists of the original 7, typed by Schindler's assistant. Now, according to eBay, it was actually sold by his assistant's nephew to the current owner. But the auction ends on July 28th. So if you want to get your hands on one of 7 original copies... And see, they didn't have printers back then, so I mean, they had to type each one of these. I wonder how much it would be if it was handwritten. That'd probably add some value to it. I don't have $3 extra million. I don't. But I'm sure there's somebody out there that does. Somebody's going to buy the list. I bet. Now, I do want to take just a second to welcome everybody that's in the chat. And I'm really going to try for an hour show today. I'm going to try not to go over. Originally, when I was prepping, I was going to go an hour and a half, 2 hours, just because I thought I had plenty of time. But again, the whole time zone thing. So we've got the lovely, vivacious Sarah in the chat. She beat me to it. She came in the chat and she said, "I love you all." She doesn't really. She doesn't love you as much as I do. And then we have Kathy. Kathy, where the hell have you been? I know you said you've been busy, but they're lies. They're all lies. Now, Kathy, you said something the other day on my Facebook page. Let me see if I can find it. Oh, do you like the Kris Top program facts? Those are original, you know. One of these days, those could be on eBay for, the originals could be on eBay for $3 million a piece. But I'll go ahead and sell them to you now for $5. Just send me a self-addressed stamped envelope, and I'll write them down, and I'll send them back to you for $5. Fact: the Kris Top program was the first radio show ever to be translated so midgets could understand. And you can find great humor like this on my Facebook page. Just go to Facebook and type in the Kris Top program. It's not one word. They're all separate words. Now, okay, Kathy's comment was over here. And this was under this fact. And these are facts, ladies and gentlemen. The Kris Top program could cause pregnant women to give birth to babies who have rugged good looks and a high IQ. And this is what Miss Catty Cathy said. She said, if they are smart, they sure aren't listening to you. Can you believe she said that? I thought me and Kathy were tight. So what's up with that? And we've got Odd Dad in the chat. Odd, are you still away gallivanting in Europe, or are you back home now? Either way, it's good to have you on the show. And, you know, the internet's the internet. I don't guess it really matters where you're at. And we also have my Red Bull-loving buddy Scooter, who isn't afraid to say that he loves another man. And the other man would be me. And, Scooter, it's okay if you have a man crush. There are a lot of people out there that have a man crush on Kris Top. Believe it or not. And I love the way Odd Dad says, he says, yay, the top is on. See, I like that. See, it's like I'm David Hasselhoff's caliber. Because he's called the Hoff. You know, whereas I'm called the Top. Now, the show that I'm going to tune into in a few minutes, in around about an hour after I finish my show, it's Night Talk. It's the weekend edition, and it's going to be featuring Dino and Rick. And I'm sure it's going to be edgy, and I'm sure it's going to be a lot of fun. So if you'd like to join me in that chat, I'll be going to that directly after my show. And I don't know if somebody can get a link for that show up on my Facebook page or not. It'd make it just a little bit easier, I think, for everybody to get there. Let's see. You know, firemen must have it hard. I mean, do you save the old lady or the child first? I'd probably go with the cat. Odd Dad says, when you stick a needle through your nipple and wind it up and let it spin, it makes a neat noise, but man, that's smarts. Okay, I'm just going to act like I didn't read that. We also have my good buddy Sonia in the chat. Sonia, it is so good to see you. Sonia's a regular. I think she's liking these earlier hours that I'm broadcasting. Let's see. What else have we got going on? So, Odd Dad's back in the ATL. You may have been safer in Europe. You could have been safer in Europe, Odd Dad. Just be careful in the ATL. Because you got people like, you got people like Sarah that are close by. So you just got to be careful. I'm warning you now. I am. Now, we've got a Lyrical Playhouse coming up. And you know what? I could just go ahead and do the Lyrical Playhouse now. Because, like I said, this is going to be somewhat of a condensed show just because I want to go... See, I love broadcasting, but I also like to hear other broadcasts as well. Whether it's a good broadcast, a bad broadcast, I can learn from whatever I listen to. I listen to mine all the time because I can learn from my own mistakes, not that I make that many mistakes.
You can either talk in the Kris Top program.
Let's talk.
Take it from the top.
Ladies and gentlemen, you are listening to Lyrical Playhouse with the one and only Kris Top.
All right, if you've never listened to a Lyrical Playhouse, this is where I get to show off my thespian abilities. This is where I take a popular song and I turn it into what I would consider a great work of art. And not to say that it wasn't already a great work of art, but when Kris Top touches it, it becomes more valuable than gold. And yes, I can say these things and still keep a straight face. I really can. Now, I'm not going to tell you what the name of the song is. I never do. Just because I want you to feel the song. I want you to live the song. So go ahead and close your eyes, sit back, sip on your Mountain Dew, and enjoy Lyrical Playhouse. Yellow model chick, yellow bottle sippin', yellow Lamborghini, yellow top missing. Yeah, that shit looked like a toupee. I get what you get in 10 years, in 2 days. Ladies love me. I'm on my cool J. If you get what I get, what would you say? She whacks it all off, Mr. Miyagi. And them suicide doors, Harry Carey. Look at me now. Look at me now. Oh, I'm getting paper. Look at me now. Oh, look at me now. Yeah, fresh than a mother effer.
This has been another episode of Lyrical Playhouse by Mr. Kris Time.
I am Dork Beta, leader of the dork side. We are presently taking applications. When you look at the alternative, it's really not so bad. Honestly, I've even thought about calling it the not-so-bad side. It's really a pity when politics get in the way of true inspiration. Plus, the dork side has cookies.
Now, I was going to go right into a song, but I've got a couple more friends that just showed up in the chat. We've got Lisa in here. She says, Kris, you're always doing shows when I'm sleeping. Lisa, you're remarkably good at typing while you sleep. Also, we have my good buddy Nathan in the chat. I don't know what the hell's going on in here. I really don't. But he does the Pothead Show. So you want to make sure you tune into the Pothead Show, and you can actually tune into the last couple of episodes that he did, and you can catch the top. And see, I'm already getting feedback from the Lyrical Playhouse. I love poetry. Such pretty songs. And Kathy says, Kris, you speak the truth in your poetry. Oh, I know. I know I do. You're absolutely, positively, 100% for sure in the right place. You're listening to the Kris Time program.
Kris Time's only competition is Kris Time, in constant pursuit of being awesome.
Shot through the heart, and you're to blame, darling. You give love a bad name. An angel's smile is what you sell. You promised me heaven and put me through hell. Chains of love got a hold on me. When passion's a prison, you can't break free. Oh, you're a loaded gun, yeah. Oh, there's nowhere to run. No one can save me. The damage is done. Shot through the heart, and you're to blame. You give love a bad name. I play my part, and you play your game. You give love bad, bad name. With that name. Shot through the heart, and you're to blame, darling. You give love a bad name. I play my part, and you play your game. You give love a bad name. You give love a bad name. You give love a bad name.
Here at the Kris Time program, we're always taking steps to make the show multicultural, because we have to remember this is the internet.
I'm working on being awesome.
AKA Waba.
Dorks of the world, unite.
That was sweet. Now try something in Irish.
Díag with the carja, is Misha Rory McQueer os Loch Orman in Erin. Agus anish táto a géist ar an Kris Top Show or www.speakerphone.com.
Yeah, I didn't understand any of that. Go ahead and try the other thing we talked about.
Lucky Charms, they're magically delicious.
That was really beautiful. It really was.
And we are back. This is the Kris Time program. You know, I've got all kinds of stuff I was going to talk about, but the annoying things just seem kind of fun, so I don't know, let's just kind of screw around. I like screwing around sometimes. I do it. It's going to be a short show anyway. Dad says, what band was that? That was actually Blake Lewis's performance from American Idol several years back. It was a long time ago, but he was one of my favorites that season. Whatever season it was. And that's one of my favorite... I don't watch American Idol anymore, but gosh, that had to have been 8-9 years ago, maybe 10. I don't know. But that's one of the songs from the show that still sticks out in my mind. So, I don't know. I like the song. Okay, now I want to go ahead and just kind of go over some annoying things. See, you probably come to my show to escape annoying things. So I don't know if this is smart for me to do or not, but we're going to run with it. So far, we've talked about people getting on the bus while people are getting off the bus, slow people on sidewalks. How about this one? Tell me how much this one hacks you off. And if there's some annoying things that you would like to discuss, feel free to type those in the chat. And yes, there is a chat on Spreaker. I'm not talking to the voices in my head. I only do that when I'm not broadcasting. So if you want to join the chat, all you have to do is come on over to Spreaker.com, sign up. It's fun, it's easy, it's free. And when I do a live broadcast, you can become a voice in my head. Now, how about this one? When people with a lot more than 10 items use the 10 items or less lane. Or maybe it's the 20 items or less lane. Now, you know, if you've got 21 or 22 items, I'll even give you 24 or 25. All right, but don't go up to the express lane with a full-size cart, because they have the little bitty carts now, and they have the little baskets that you can carry too. Those are the things that are meant for the express lane. When you have a full-size cart, for the love of everything that is good in the universe, don't go up to it when it's all piled up and heaping over. You've got your 4 6-packs of Mountain Dew. You couldn't fit them in the basket, so you hung them on the sides. Don't go up to the express lane, because I have a Kit Kat and I have a Mountain Dew. And you got there right before I did. And now I'm mad. Now I'm mad because the express lane was open. I was on my way. You turned the corner and you got in my way. And then I look down the other aisles and they're all full of people like you. But at least they are where they belong. So I guess what I'm saying is I'm endorsing supermarket segregation. I guess, in one way or another. Okay. How about this? How about when somebody brings a child to a really scary R-rated movie? You know, maybe you're going with your girlfriend. You want to sit there, make out a little bit, enjoy the movie. And then you got this kid in front of you who just won't shut up. Who just talks and laughs and giggles. And then when the scary parts start, he starts screaming and yelling and crying and saying, "Please, Mommy, take me out." "Take me out, Mommy, because I don't belong here." You know what? The kid's right. He doesn't belong there. It's a freaking rated R movie. You don't take kids to see rated R movies, even though it's legal. As long as you're an adult, it's legal. I know that. But look around. You're the only parent in there that brought their kid with them. All the other parents were smart enough to go ahead and pay the babysitters because they didn't want to ruin everybody else's evening. How about when people miss the trash can and they just keep walking? You know, that drives me nuts. You know how in the football games, like when they win the Super Bowl, or the baseball games, when they win the World Series, I know a lot of you are shocked because I knew the names of both of those, and I got them right. You know, then the team takes the big cooler and they just dump it on the coach's head. And maybe they don't do that during the Super Bowl. I don't know, but I've seen it in games. Maybe it's just college games, where they take the Gatorade and they just dump it on the coach's head. That's what I want to do. Next time I see somebody do that, if I'm with a buddy, I'm going to be like, all right, you chase them down, you hold them. I'm going to grab the trash can that they missed, and I'm just going to dump it all right on their head. Because that's what you deserve. I hate it, too, when I'm on the interstate and I'm driving and somebody throws trash out of their window. That gives me road rage, I think, worse than anything else. And if you look in my car, you know for a fact I don't throw jack out of my window. It's all in my passenger seat floorboard. Ask Sarah. I mean, she'll be sitting there, and then I'll be like, all right, here, now I'll just throw something right between her legs into the floor. And my daughter, she hates it when I do that when she's riding with me. She just rolls her eyes. But I mean, it's not hurting anything. I'm not littering. I'm not going to throw it outside. Maybe I should keep one of those little garbage bag things in the car with me. Dad says, I used to work in a movie theater. We used to confiscate beer that was snuck into the show and then drink it after work. That's a good idea. It's like recycling. And I mean, there's nothing wrong with it. I mean, you're just doing your job, right? Now, if you were a police officer, it could be a thing, but whatever. Talking on a hands-free in front of the urinal. Oh, Scooter, you know what? I hate are you talking about the Bluetooths? Oh, I hate the Bluetooths. I despise the Bluetooths because I will be walking through the supermarket and there will be somebody standing beside me and they'll start talking and I'll be like, oh, excuse me, what did you say? And they'll keep talking and I was like, no, I didn't hear you. And then they'll look at me and they'll be like, they'll just point at their ear. It's like, they're not saying it, but they're like, hey, asshole, I'm on the phone. But I want to look at them, I want to be like, hey, asshole, I thought you were talking to me because there's nobody else standing there. Only douchebags use the Bluetooth headsets. Only douchebags. Make no mistake. If you own a Bluetooth headset, destroy it right now. Go ahead, just destroy your Bluetooth headset. Drives me insane. It does. I'm glad you brought that up. You know what else makes me nuts? I guess it's kind of the same category. Say you're in a restaurant and you're trying to enjoy a nice meal, and then right next to you, and this happened to me not too long ago, right next to you there's somebody with one of those speakerphone, or they put somebody on speakerphone, and they're talking to them just like it's a normal conversation, and it's almost like they have an attitude when they do that. It's like, look at me with my speakerphone. I'm talking to my friend that isn't here in the restaurant. And everyone can hear the whole phone conversation. I don't want to know if your friend walked their dog today. I don't want to hear them apologize because they couldn't meet you at the restaurant. I don't want to hear any of that. I just want to enjoy my meal. Just shut up. Just take it off a speaker, put the phone up to your ear, and just talk to them like a normal person would. Because even then, if I hear I only hear half the conversation then, and that's okay. And when you're talking into a speakerphone, you're always going to talk louder because you want to make sure they hear you. And then they're probably doing the same thing because they know you've got them on speakerphone, so they're going to talk louder. And then the whole freaking restaurant hears you. Nobody wants to hear that crap. Anyway, I think my blood pressure might be going up. You know, I went to the doctor the other day because I told you I was sick. And they took my temperature. I had 101 fever, and they took my blood pressure. And I'm always kind of worried about my blood pressure just because, well, my mom had high blood pressure. My uncle had high blood pressure. So I think eventually I'm going to get it. But I'm a very, very laid-back guy, unless I'm talking about Bluetooths. So I'm really laid back, and I'm sitting there, and she looks at me, and I am so sick. It's like everything was a dream. She said, excuse me, Mr. Top, Mr. Top, Mr. Top, Mr. Top, Top. That's what it sounded like in my mind. And then I turned my head, and then my head turned again, but I'm pretty sure it only did it once, but that's what it felt like. Did you ever see The Doors with Jim Morrison? Riders on the storm. That's what I felt like. I felt like a rider on the storm. So anyway, I said, yes. She said, do you take blood pressure medicine? And believe it or not, I'm doing this without sound effects. This is all done with my mouth. I said, no, I don't. Should I be taking high blood pressure medicine? And she says, no, not at all. Oh. She said, your blood pressure is actually really, really good. So I'm thinking, phew. But now I look back at it and I'm thinking, well, why would she even bring that up if I had good blood pressure? Do I look like the type of person that should have high blood pressure? Was she dissing me? Was she taking advantage of my situation and dissing me? I don't know. I had on good underwear, though, just in case she asked me to take my pants off. That's all I was really worried about. Kathy says, it bothers me when I'm peeing in the bathroom and some girl walks into the bathroom and pees while talking on her phone. Happens every day at work. Yeah, see, Kathy, I'm with you. I'm a nervous urinator. I can't use the urinals. I have to use the stalls. So, and it has to be very quiet in the bathroom. I mean, if somebody uses one of those jet dryers, well, I don't know, the jet dryer is kind of cool. That helps me pee, actually, because it makes noise, and I know other people can't hear me urinate, so that kind of helps. But when people come in and start talking, like especially like groups of people come into the bathroom, and it probably happens more with women, so you're probably a little more used to it. I can't go. I mean, I'm sitting there, I'm trying to count, I'm thinking about baseball, I'm thinking about Niagara Falls. Nothing helps. Nothing at all helps. So yeah, that kind of bugs me too. And there ain't no way I'm going number 2 in public. No way am I going number 2 in public ever. Ever. I guess I just scrolled down the chat. Scooter says he's taking his Bluetooth back now. Don't be in the douchebag club, Scooter. Kathy says, it bothers me because I work for Country Inn's customer care, and customers complain about their stay at Comfort Inns. What is there to complain about a hotel? I mean, that should be an easy job, I would think, because what are you looking for when you go to a hotel? I mean, besides hookers. I mean, you go to a hotel, you're looking for a bed, a TV, a shower, a toilet, the things that are in a hotel. So, I mean, as long as the hotel is clean, there shouldn't really be anything to complain about. Now, if you go get a hotel room that's $30, your back's probably going to be hurting in the morning. but you only spent $30, so you shouldn't complain. Now, if you go to a hotel and spend $80, $100, then you should be feeling you should get a really good night's sleep when you wake up in the morning. Dad says, how about when they're talking loud and spewing all kinds of personal info, and they say, let's keep this between us? Exactly. And talking about the speakerphones, think about this. What if the person that's on the speakerphone doesn't realize they're on the speakerphone, and then all of a sudden they blurt out something like, hey, there's a midget in my trunk. You've got to help me get rid of him. Then there's another problem, because if you've got him on speakerphone, then not only the person that was supposed to hear it heard it, but more than likely somebody else heard it too. So then you not only have a midget to take care of, but then you've got this other person that just happened to hear your conversation that didn't give a crap about it in the first place. Oh, Dad, you didn't hear my chiropractor story. I'll tell that again sometime when you're in the chat when I have more time. And it was so you don't expect to take your pants off when you go to the chiropractor. And I'll tell that story again sometime, because I don't even know what show that was on. It's kind of annoying because I just date my shows. I don't really give them names. But I mean, I wouldn't have named that show Trip to the Chiropractor anyway. So it would still be difficult to find. So maybe the dates are okay. Okay. See, I love it when I really don't have a plan, because I can just stay sidetracked all I want and just talk about stuff that I'm already pretty good at talking about. So I'm okay with that. How about this? Say you're driving to the grocery store. Say it's crowded and you're like looking for that great parking spot. And say there's this van sitting there and it looks like there's a clear spot on the other side. And it's like, yes, I found the coolest spot ever. So it's like you start to pull up. You're kind of going around the van, the minivan. And then as you start to pull into the parking spot, you notice somebody left their shopping cart there. Oh, doesn't that just drive you nuts? Doesn't that drive you nuts when people leave their shopping carts right there in where you're supposed to park? Happens all the time. Kathy says, one time at work, this guy emailed us asking if he could bring a hookah and rent the room for a few hours. And seriously, you can complain about billing issues and bed bugs, staff attitudes, and stuff like that. Yeah, I've seen hotels with hourly rates. And I don't think those are for quick naps. I really don't. And I'm sure he got the hooker off of Craigslist, because we all know that Craigslist, all it's good for, you know what I'm going to say. Hookahs and serial killers. So at least he didn't ask you to bring a serial killer to the hotel for a couple of hours. And typing in all caps can be very annoying. Dad, that's a good observation. And then you've got misbehaving kids in restaurants, which will drive you nuts. You've got cars that are driving the same speed in the fast lane and in the slow lane. Oh. I'm a very courteous person, believe it or not. Typically, if I'll go somewhere and there's a door that's not an electric door, that doesn't open by itself, and I'll open the door, and if there's somebody behind me, I'll stand there and I'll hold the door all the way open. I don't just kind of swing it back and let them catch it. I'll stand there and let them in. And I've been in situations where groups of people took advantage of my kindness. I mean, unless it was something I really wanted to see and there was a line and I would just jump in there. But in most situations, I'll hold the door open for a person or a few. Don't you hate it when they don't acknowledge you? They just keep walking right by as if that's your job to hold the door. It's not like I got my hand out. I'm not wanting a $5 bill. But a simple thank you would be nice. Even a little eye contact and a smile would be nice. That would be just as good as a thank you. And that's one of the things I'm working on, is just making more eye contact and smiling at people when I'm out in public, because it's excruciating. And I don't mind doing it so much. It's just that you open yourself up to people, and then they'll want to start conversations with you. And sometimes these conversations are just things you don't want to hear. And in my job, I talk a lot. I do. I talk all day long. And my hobby, I talk all day long. So if I'm out in public, or if I'm having quiet time at the house, I kind of like to just keep to myself. I like to be a little hermit guy. So that's why I kind of shy away from eye contact. But I'm trying to work on that. I'm trying to be a better person, because I've told you guys before, and I can't tell you things and not live it myself. You should smile at people more often when you're out in public, because a simple smile from someone could change their day. It could even change their life, and you may not even know it. So I'm trying to practice what I preach, and I've always told my kids that too. And finally now my daughter's 18, and I'm actually trying it myself. I'm a work in progress. I am, and I'm okay with that. And I hate it. Oh, I really hate it when I go out to eat, and not only if I see someone at another table that's rude to their server, gets under my skin so badly. It does. And then I've been in with groups of people out to eat, and then somebody in my group will be rude to the server, or they'll be acting all cocky like they're better than the server. Makes me so irritated. If that person's in my group, I will not talk to them ever again. I don't care who it is. It's like, hey, why is Kris not talking to me, I mean, why is Kris not talking to me? I didn't do anything to him. I was just sitting there in the restaurant the whole time talking to my Bluetooth. I pinched that waitress chick on the ass. I didn't do anything to Kris. Why is he being all mean to me? Drives me nuts. How about this? Not that this happens to me, because I don't use public stalls to go number 2, as I formerly said, but hypothetically, say I did use a public stall, and you know how sometimes you have to reach up in those little things to get that toilet paper? And sometimes all you can do is just barely get just a couple of fingers on it, and then you just kind of pull ever so slightly. Because if you just reach up there and yank it, then it's just going to tear off a little bitty piece. Or maybe it's going to tear off a square. And if you're a dude, you're going to need a lot more than a square. You're going to need several feet of the roll so you can wipe your ass, right? I mean, if you're a chick, one square will do it. Because we know that chicks don't really poo. But you just reach up there and then it just tears, then it goes on the floor. Now, if germs wouldn't eat you alive and kill you, you could just pick up all the pieces out of the floor and have plenty. But nobody's going to do that. Kathy says, we told him that we were too classy to rent for an hour. Talking about the hookah. Now, what about the serial killer? I mean, would you be too classy for that as well? Why do they put wood in sunflower seeds? Kathy, what the hell are you talking about? I've never purchased sunflower seeds with a log in the bag. I'm not sure what you're getting at. I mean, if you could explain that I've never seen chips of wood in sunflower seeds. You've got to elaborate on that for me with me a little bit. Now, how much time do I have? Because I'm trying to go at about an hour. So, okay, we've got about 15 more minutes. So we've got 15 more minutes. So I'm going to try not to go over an hour, because I do want to catch out Night Talk, the weekend edition, and that's with Dino and Rick, because those guys are good. They're really good, and they're a lot of fun to listen to. So if you want to join me in the chat after the show, you can just follow me over there. I'd like to welcome Vic Miller to the chat. You know what would be cool if you called yourself the artist formerly known as Vic Miller, because he's got Vic Miller and then he's got artist in parentheses beside his name. It's good to see you, Vic. Now see, Sonia says, Kathy, she says those are stems. Now see, that makes a lot of sense. That makes, see, now I get it. I think you were confusing the stems for wood. I don't know. You said wood, and I just picture these logs in the bags with the sunflower seeds. And I've never in my life gotten a log in there. You know, people put annoying things on Facebook, and yet we keep going back to Facebook each and every day. We do. So how about this? Let's talk about how annoying Facebook can be, because I want to get this in before my hour's up. And I'll tell you what, before we do that, I'm going to take a break, but first... Oh, now Kathy's got to go. Kathy, you don't have to go anywhere. You just stay put. See, like that? I just demand things from my listeners. I do. But we're more than listeners. We're friends. So I'm going to go ahead and play the Dork National Anthem and the Wabba Rap. And you know what to do. So we're going to get these started. And we're going to follow that up, and we're going to spread a little bit of Spreaker love. So we're going to do that too. And this is the Dork National Anthem by my good buddy Belgium Tim.
Working on being awesome every day. I'm working on being awesome every day. I'm being awesome every day. I'm not really awesome to this day, but I'm working on being awesome every day. I'm not awesome today, but I'll be one day.
Yeah, Big N in the building. Representing the dorks. Dorks of the world unite, y'all. Yeah. Hey there, everybody, I got something to say. This guy right over there is Wabba every single day. Okay, what is Wabba?
It gets so creepy cold thing.
No, dude, it's just a little dork singing. Well, W is working, O is on it, B is being, and A is for awesome, and that's the dork saying. I'm already awesome, but that's okay, cause Mr. Kris Time is too, but he just doesn't know it. And so are all of you from here on to the far. And just so you know, life is good and I'm gone.
All right, if you do a show on Spreaker, go ahead and type the word show into the chat, because, ladies and gentlemen, it's time to spread the Spreaker love. And what I mean by that is, click on the word show, or not, don't click on the word show, but click on their name if they type the word show, and make sure you give them a follow and at least give them one listen.
We're just here to spread that love all around. Spread it around. Spread it around.
All right, I'm going to take just one more quick break, and then we're going to have probably about 8 or 9 minutes. We're going to talk about some Facebook things that are annoying, like some annoying Facebook posts that people may leave. And you're going to love this. It's really going to be a lot of fun. Now, I'm going to play a cover song that was written actually for me by a friend of mine from the UK. Her name's Natters, and I haven't played this in a long, long time. But the reason I like this is because she slipped in the Kris Time program into the lyrics, and this is actually one of my favorite songs. And I guess one of the reasons it's one of my favorite songs is my daughter learned it early on, and she sang it in front of an audience, and I just, it's one of those memories, I guess, that sticks out in my head.
Oh, I wish I was a punk cracker with flowers in my hair. 77, 69, revolution was in the air. I
Hello, I'm Chris Crash Jesus Taylor from HTLA Radio 1 at HTLA973.com. You know, a few weeks back I happened upon the Kris Top program on Spreaker.com, and I was met with feelings and love I had never before experienced with a radio show and a host of hosts. The joy and inspiration you brought to my life, Chris, with just a few simple words. The inspirational clips, the chat banter, the total hotties that you as a dork attract and maintain without effort. The king of all dorks, you proclaim, and so it is true. Kris Top, my lord, my king, I love you. When I was thirsty, you gave me Mountain Dew. When I was hungry, you fed me Muse. When I was nervous, you helped me pee. Now, from the rooftops, I shout Wabo with glee. So please join me with the chat dorks every day for another dose of the Kris Top program on Spreaker.com.
All right, so last night I had my only Scottish friend in the chat, and tonight I have my only black friend in the chat, which shows, ladies and gentlemen, that I'm not racist. We've got Shar in here. Shar, it is so good to see you. If I could, I'd give you a big virtual... Well, I guess I could give you a virtual hug. How was that? Did I do okay? I made the gesture and everything. Actually, I used my cat to do that. But it's good to see you. It really is. We're actually going to be wrapping the show up here in about 10 minutes, just because there's another show that's on the air that I want to check out tonight. But we're talking about annoying things, and now we're talking about annoying things that you might find on Facebook. Facebook is riddled with annoying things. How about this one? Men showing their abs or their six-packs. Why do you want to go show your six-packs? Really? I mean, okay, you just automatically look like a show-off. And we automatically know you're one of those guys that walks around with the Bluetooth that we just talked about. Plus, you're going to hack off everybody that's slightly obese. Why do you want to do that? And then you've got those people that are like, OMG, life is not fair. I hate this day. Don't you hate the Debbie Downers in the world? And those are the people that are the reason I don't make eye contact in public. Now, I have to see your crap on Facebook too. From the comfort of my own home when I'm supposed to be safe from you. OMG, life is not fair. I hate this day. And then you know what's worse than that? You've got those friends that say, well, what happened? Are you okay? I hate that even worse. Because you know they don't even care. They just act like they care. And then, see, this is like a triple whammy. Because I hate the OMG, life is not fair, I hate this day. And then I hate more than that, what happened? Are you okay? I hate that worse than the other. And then I hate this more than both of them. The response? I don't want to talk about it. Well, if you really don't want to talk about it, then why the crap did you post it in the first place? And then you got people that are ranting or cursing someone on Facebook and saying bad things about a particular person, but the worst part is they're not even friends on Facebook. So how are they going to get the message? They're not going to get the message. So why are you even saying it? I mean, if you've got something to say to somebody, say it to their face. Don't say it on Facebook. Because I don't care. I don't want to know anything about it. Okay, and this one. This is almost as bad as, OMG, I hate this day. Almost as bad. When those women out there, they go and they post pictures of themselves when they just... And they say this. They say, OMG, I'm so fat. They're frickin' size 6. They're frickin' size 6, and they're sitting there saying they're so fat. You know what people ought to start doing? Oh yeah, you're fat. You're a hoss. You're as big as a cow. You're bigger than a house. You shouldn't even, you should get 2 Facebook pages because you're so fat. They shouldn't allow fat people like you on Facebook. Those are the kinds of responses they should get. But no, instead, they get, no, not at all. You're hot. You look amazing. You're beautiful. You're not fat. And you know why they say they're fat? It's just because they want a freaking compliment. And then you've got another thing where the girls, they post pictures of themselves when they just woke up. They just woke up and they look amazing. All right? They just wake up out of bed and they look amazing. But then this is what their captions say. I just woke up and I am so ugly in the morning. I'm so ugly in the morning without makeup on. And again, they look like Miss Universe. So you know what they do? They get up out of bed and they go to the bathroom, they put makeup on, they fix their hair, they go and just to maybe say they didn't lie, they'll lay their head back down very, very gently and cautiously. Just very gently and cautiously, and then they'll open their eyes and then click. They'll take the picture. And then they'll post it. I just woke up and I am so ugly in the morning without makeup on. Oh my gosh. I'm so ugly. And I can't stop myself from taking this picture. It's like an alien took over my body and oh my God, no, don't make me hit the button. No, oh my God, my picture's on my phone. No, don't send it to Facebook. Oh no, they've sent it to Facebook. Oh, thank goodness they've released me from their spell. Now I can type in, I just woke up and I'm so ugly in the morning without my makeup. Yeah, I believe the first story, Miss Universe. Okay. I know Starbucks is a great business. I know that. And on occasion, I'll drink a little Starbucks from time to time. But I'm not one of those crazy Starbucks fanatics. And to answer your question, Vic, I'd be happy to play your cover song on my show. I'd be more than willing to play it. I'd love to play it because I love playing original stuff. And I believe my email address is on my Spreaker page. So if you want to send that to me, I'll check it out. And then good or bad, I'll play it. I mean, if it's good, then I'll say it's good. But if it's bad, I'll say it's bad. So that's the chance you take. But I would love to play your original song. I'm always looking for good stuff to play. Shar says, I do that, but I'm really a fat ass. And then Sarah says, Shar, shut up, you're pretty. See, she just proved your point. You just proved my point. Sonia says, we used to have a neighbor who always told me how good I look, and then he learned not to say that until he thought I would agree with him. Yeah. I hate when I forget to take off my makeup and wake up the next day. I look like hell. I've seen her. She's not exaggerating. I've seen it. I can say that because she's not around me right now. Okay, now, you got the Starbucks fanatics, and they just talk about how much they eat at Starbucks. Oh, I'm at Starbucks today for the 5th time. I'm bouncing off the walls. I'm drinking my Starbucks. Me and my friends at Starbucks. Yeah, just go ahead and post your Starbucks pictures. I haven't seen any of those. I haven't seen slushy coffees in my whole lifetime. Wow, we don't have Starbucks where I live every 5 feet. So please post the pictures of Starbucks That's what a Starbucks looks like? I can only imagine what it tastes like. I hope you choke it down, your Starbucks coffee. And then you got the weather people that are annoying. These are the people that complain about the weather. Oh gosh, I hate the snow. OMG, it's raining again. You know, you got a problem if you have to look on Facebook to know if it's raining. All right, if you have to do that, take a moment to step away from the computer and look outside. Don't sit in front of your computer and stare at Facebook for 20 hours in a day. Because remember, you can always go back and scroll. You're not going to miss anything. So if stuff like this is useful information to you, then you've got a problem. Oh crap, it's so hot and humid. You know, it'd be a whole lot better if they at least described it a little more. It'd be more fun. OMG, tsunami. See, that would be kind of cool. Or something like, oh hell, I nearly got hit by a hurricane. Or, did you see those hailstones about the size of a football? Now see, that would be cool. But OMG, it's raining again. It's so hot and humid. I hate the snow. I really do. And then you've got the PDA people. Those are those public display of affection people. And again, that's another reason I don't like going out in public. And when I'm in the safety of my own home, I don't want to see this on Facebook. I really don't. And these are those couples, they exchange sweet nothings or vows on Facebook. I love you, sweetheart. Oh, no. No. I love you. I love you, baby. I really love you. Oh, no. No, I really love you. I love you more. I can't wait to see you. I miss you. I miss you. I can't live without you. Blah, 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 blah. Just shut up. There's nothing wrong with that, of course. But there's other things that you could do, like maybe text the person. Or you could call them and actually talk to them with your voice. Or you could really get crazy and you could go see them in person and you could actually kiss them or hug them. And then you could just keep your business to yourself. How about that? And then you got the gamers. Those are people that constantly send you invites to play all those addictive games on Facebook. I figured out a long time ago how to block those. So if you're going to send me that crap, I ain't going to see it. Candy Crush Saga, Poker, Bejewels, Farmville, Sims. And there's so much more. There's so much more. And go ahead and send away because that no longer annoys me. It doesn't. And then you've got people that are hating on the Facebook timeline. I mean, I didn't like the change that much, but I didn't go overboard. I didn't create a page and ask people to come over to the page and protest it because, well, you know, first off, it's not going to change anything. It's frickin' Facebook. It's frickin' Facebook. There's a kid in a grass hut in Ethiopia looking at Facebook right now. It's all over the world, dude. They probably know what they're doing. So if you hate the timeline, just suck it up. Or there's always that deactivate your account option. You can try that one out too. Now, one last thing I want to talk about before I leave. Do you hate it when your friends like post pictures and then you see somewhere that you've been tagged in a picture and then you're like, oh great, I don't even remember what I did last night. What could possibly be on Facebook right now? And then you go and look, and it's like a picture of a monkey or something. You're like, really? You're gonna tag me on the picture of a monkey? Do I look like a monkey? Why do you want to tag me on the picture of a monkey and make me go look? It's not even right. Why would you do that? Okay. Now, normally when I end the show, I always come back after I do the outro. I'm not today. I'm cutting my show short. I was shooting for an hour. It's 67 and a half minutes into it now. But I'm going to go over and check out Night Talk, the weekend edition, and it's got my good buddy Dino on it and Rick. And I just want to see what the show's all about because it's the first night that they're airing. And I meant to be done with my show before they started, but the whole time zone thing, yeah, whatever. I messed it up, okay? I'm not that smart, and I admit it. But I had a fun show today, and I mostly winged it because I thought, well, what the hell? I've got an hour. An hour's not much, and then I can just save my prep for the next show, so I'm good to go for the next one. But I do. I appreciate each and every one of you for listening. I do not, nor will I ever take any of you for granted, because there are so many other things that you could be doing, but you choose to listen to me. Makes me feel pretty damn good. Shar says, the timeline makes me feel like I don't have a life. I don't. Yeah, I guess I see what you're saying. It's like you can just kind of do this a couple of times, like, the little, you hear that on your mouse? And it's like your whole life just rolled before your eyes on your mouse. It's like, whoa, that's all I did? That's all I accomplished? Everything that I've ever done that's great is on Facebook, and I just scrolled through it in 2 seconds. Holy crap. I mean, I know I posted every meal, every picture of every meal that I ever had. I've got the Starbucks on there. I told everybody when I was going to the bathroom every single time. So all those high points in my life, just a couple of little rolls away. My life's just useless, isn't it? Thank you guys, really. Thank you for listening to the show. I love each and every one of you, I do. Until I broadcast again, please remember this. Life is good, and don't stick around because I'm not going to be back. Not this time, but I'll be back later. But I won't come back after I'm done. Until I broadcast again, please remember, life is good, and I'm gone.
Is it over yet?
Completely over.
You have been exposed to the Kris Top program.
Yeah, okay, are we done? I really gotta get a life.